Hi! And this is where I say, what's up, y'all? My name is Emily, and I'm here to overshare. Listen, again, this camera cut off. I think I need a timer to just know, like, okay, at minute 16 or minute so-and-so, it cuts off. Anyways, back to the story. So I finally came to a place where I shared the story with my sister. And even when I did, I couldn't even like tell it to her like directly. I made a recording, an audio recording of me telling the experience the way I remembered it. And it was so painful. Like, it was heavy to even do, to just recount the experience itself. But without me being able to do that, I wouldn't have been able to do the work, because a lot of these things or these traumatic experiences, it just requires for you to tell it the way you remember it, tell it the way you lived it, write it down if you're writing it in a journal. Then that way you get that actual pain out, or at least you open that portal where you kind of like store that pain in, and from there then you're able to work the steps towards healing. So I told it to my sister, and we had a conversation about it. We've never really had a conversation with my whole family about it, and to be honest, I don't know if we ever will. I'm not really counting on it, because at the end of the day, I've come to the place where I realize if you're going to throw blame on everybody else, oh, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, and you're not actually taking action for yourself, because whatever it is you're feeling or whatever it is you're experiencing, it's only affecting you. So I came to a place where I had to take action for myself. I will not count on, there being anything, because it already happened. The most they can do is maybe say sorry, empathize with me in that regard. And it's also just the African thing. We don't talk about some of these complex things because there's so much taboo or so much fear around it, because hey, we don't want to, it's too sensitive, just hide it under the rug, we just sweep it under the carpet, like we're not going to talk about it, just leave it there, it's okay, it's just going to solve itself in its own time. Tell me y'all don't relate. But at the end of the day, forgiveness was for me to do. It wasn't for my family or for anybody else to do it, because at the end of the day, I was the one living through the effects of that experience, and I really just wanted to tell the story for it to be that there's someone else that needs to hear it, that has probably experienced it, and probably worse, a worse form of assault or abuse or whatever the case may be. And only so you could hear that there's many others that have experienced the same. There's someone that has experienced the same, and there's a possibility, there's a chance for you to recover and resolve from that. I am walking proof that I overcame that. I survived that. I am doing the work every day of my being to be better, to do better, to overcome, and and to forge a new path for me. And not from that place of that broken girl or that abused girl, but as the girl that survived that. And it's not an easy thing. It's not like a walk in the park. There's a simpleness to it, or simplicity to it, let me say, but it's not easy. It's as simple as you forgiving. Just forgive it. Forgive that it happened. Forgive yourself that it happened. Forgive the abusers or the assailant, because a lot of times you also come to realize that it's because they also don't know any better. And a lot of times it's just hurt people that hurt people, There's that saying, hurt people, And once you come to that place where you really just want change and you want to see a difference for yourself and for the different experiences and interactions that you are going to have or want to have moving forward, you want better, because you deserve better. And it's not your fault. I promise you, it's not your fault. There is nothing that you can do even now to change what already happened. It's done. It's already happened. Just come to forgiveness about the whole thing. Accept that it happened. And from there on, take action. And it's not an easy path to walk on, but if you know fully well you want a change, you want different, you want better for yourself, you're gonna have to do the work. And it takes a really strong will. And today, I tell this story, and even if there is pain with me telling this story, it's from a place of, yeah, it happened. Yeah, I forgive it. I am who I am today, and maybe there's been so many bad things that came with it, and that maybe so many things that I still have to work through throughout the progress of my life. But it's coming from a place of acceptance. It's coming from a place of, I've made peace with that. And it is what it is. It already happened. I can't change it. I can't undo it. But what I can do now is take action. And I have been taking action for the last year. And it's not easy. It's not that it's work that you will do and be done with. There's so many ways that all these patterns of abuse can be triggered within you. And the moment you come to that place of awareness that pattern of abuse or that cycle of abuse is very much active and within, going on within your life, you're able to catch yourself and be like, no, this is where I draw the line. Boundaries, and it's a work in progress. And it's not to say that this is the only traumatic experience that I've had. There's been so many others, and there's so many more that I'm learning that I didn't realize traumatized me, but it's one of those things where once you get to that place where you're like, oh, I've dealt with this like one thing, or at least I've done a good job in dealing with it this far, and then you continue on onto these things and you're like, okay, you build that muscle and that wit and that courage to face these things. And it's not easy. Let nobody tell you that it's easy. Anybody that is doing the continuous work of healing right now, they know, I'm pretty sure it's no simple fit. And I've been one to do this by myself. I'm a lone ranger, but I would honestly say that if it is one of those things where you need help, seek help. Seek help from a therapist. I personally cannot wait to start work with a therapist. But it's just one of those things that is really expensive and you really gotta work your way around financially. But I know I will come to that place where I can comfortably afford paying a therapist to help me do this work. But in the meantime, because I want change for myself, I will seek out information, trauma self-help books. A lot of self-help books, basically, they teach you all these things, or at least you learn, or you're informed about it. It's not to say that it's the only way to solve it, and there's so many times where you feel like you've misread or misinterpreted what it is that you've read in the book, and you base it on your own situation, and it could be wrong. It's one of those things where, yeah, maybe I looked at it wrong. Let me look at it from this perspective. At least that's what it's been for me. I'm not saying that is how you should do it. It's not easy, trust me. I seek counsel from someone that is already in therapy and is already doing the work. I've been able to establish that within my circle, or at least my tribe, let me say. And there's that one person where if I feel stuck, I go to them and like, yo, this and this is what is happening. This is what I've been able to identify, this, that, whatever. And we have a conversation about it, and I'm like, okay, great, wonderful. Thank you for sharing this with me. And I learned from that. And all I can tell you is tell your story. The way you lived it, the way you experienced it, the way you remember it. In you doing so, you open up a path through which you will find forgiveness for yourself, for that person that hurt you and that abused you, and all the abuse that you may have allowed to continue on in your life, in relationships, with family, with friends, you name it. It will open you to that place of forgiving all these things. And in you coming to that place of forgiveness, then you are no longer a victim to that. You are a survivor. You are one that has experienced that, has overcome that, and you will do better, so much better like that. And I don't know, I hope I have done the best of my ability to speak on this the best way that I can and the best way that I know how. And I hope that it is a help to somebody. And that is all that I have to share for today. Bye.